All right, all right, all right. Hello to everyone. If y'all can hear me out there, can you put an 1111 in the chat? Let me know that y'all can hear me with no problem. Welcome to everybody who is joining right now. Let me know if y'all can hear me before I press forward here. Just cleansing out the space. You got to get the energy right, y'all. Got to get the energy right. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right. Well, I'm so glad that y'all was able to join today. I'm going to give some more people time to enter here. Let me see. I hope y'all are doing well out there. As you all know, we are coming on to do a live ritual. We're going to do a joint ritual. Okay, there you are. Because I'm like, hold on now. I know it's more warriors out there that's going to be coming in for this 888 portal ritual here. So I'm glad that y'all are able to join. And for those of you who will be joining in later, if you are not able to be a part of this live right now, don't fret. Don't worry. You have time. And that's why we've been called to come and do this now because, of course, the portal opened on the 26th and it's going all the way, it's staying open up until about the 12th. And so we got some time in between, but I wanted to come on now. I didn't want to wait until 8/8. I wanted to come on now because y'all, let me know in the chat. Can you feel the intensity of this particular portal? Can you sense the urgency of aligning yourself with this portal? If you can sense the urgency, put an 888 in the chat. Can you sense the urgency when it comes to the alignment of this particular portal? It just, for me, the energy feels very heightened. And I know that there is a whole lot going on in the atmosphere right now. So not only do we have to throw these spiritual hands, but we also have to do the alchemy to transmute and shift the energy. Because when I tell y'all, the powers that were, they are busy, but we're going to get even busier up in this thing today because, see, our spiritual team is far greater. Our connection to the source, the divine creator of all creators, the Most High Mother and Father, is far greater than any ritualistic sacrifice the powers that were can perform, any spell works they can put out there, any wicked intents or distractions they can put out there. We are far greater, okay? Far greater. So we got to join together here. So if you are going to be joining us later, that's perfectly fine. We're going to be doing a two-part ritual. The first part we're going to burn and release, of course. So for those of you that don't have candles right now, you need to run to the store to get them later on in the week. You are perfectly fine. Just get your pen, paper, and a lighter. And of course, safely, you're going to burn the declaration that we're going to do first. The second half to this is going to consist of a candle. So if you have a red, orange, or yellow candle, of course, that's in alignment with the fiery energy of Leo, then you definitely want to get that candle. We're going to write a specific declaration for the 888 portal. Many of you are saying, yes, the energy is very intense. So let me give a shout out to y'all out there. So hello to Starseed, Starfi, Cosmic, Aqua, Diane, C1111, Kings of Fitness, Golden Energy 1111. Okay. Coach Tasha, Speedy 777, LC Scales, the official Roxy Johnson. Okay. Zoster Hotep, Brittany, Kibby Phillips, High Vibrations, Monarana, excuse me if I butchered your name, Diane Houston, Osiris Bay, Marlene Moore. Y'all, this stuff is burning my eyes. Let me put this sage down. Welcome to everybody that's joining today. Okay, I appreciate all of you spiritual warriors that's coming in. Y'all, so Jessica is going to be joining me today, okay? She's definitely going to be adding in her wisdom. So I'll be bringing her up in a moment. But listen, y'all, I got to tell you, right before I started this podcast, I got a very disturbing download from my spiritual team, but it was obviously a necessary one, okay? And y'all let me know in the chat if y'all picked up on this, because I can't be the only one that received this message, but apparently I might be late. I might be late. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me before, because I had been tapping into the energy behind the scenes on my other channel. Y'all, I received a download that Malcolm Jamal Warner's death was the sacrifice for the 888 portal. Malcolm Jamal Warner is a Leo. He was a life path number 7, highly spiritual. Okay. I received that download literally right before I cut my mic on, and I was like, hold up. Did anybody else receive that download? Did anybody else receive that download? Happy birthday, Lyra. I can't be the only one. I'm seeing a lot of y'all are saying, wow. Yeah. So it's very important. What we're doing right now is very, very important, because as you all know, the powers that were, their method of magic has to come with wicked sacrifices. Usually it comes with human sacrifice, okay? But when they sacrifice messiahs, this is on a whole nother level. It lets you know that they understand the significance of the time that we're in right now. Zena says she knew that he was sacrificed. Yes, I knew he was sacrificed, but did you understand the significance of him being a Leo and sacrificing him during this open portal of the Lion's Gate? This is on a whole nother level. And of course, I called judgment already on behalf of Malcolm Jamal, and hopefully you all are doing the same thing. You got to throw them spiritual hands right about now, because it's getting real out here in these spiritual streets. All right. So this Lionsgate portal, the energy is very, very intense this year. And there's a reason for that. So we're definitely going to tap in. We're going to do, we're going to pull some cards to see where the energy is taking us. We're going to do the burn and release. We're going to do that first. We're going to do the rituals first. For those of you that can't stick around too long, we're going to do the rituals first. And then afterwards, we're going to pull some cards and we're going to tap in. So I'm going to be bringing Jessica on with me right now, and we're going to continue to press forward here. I'm going to be putting up the rituals for us to do. So get your pens, paper, and lighters ready, as well as your candles with your permanent markers if you're going to do that portion now. If not, that's fine. If you don't have it, just join us in whatever way you can. If you just have sage, and you can light sage to clear the energy as we're doing these burning and releasing, just to ensure that there's no interference, add that in. Whatever you can do, whatever alchemy you can add to this to enhance the energy on behalf of the chosen seed all across the 4 corners of the globe, do that on your end, okay? The color candle can be red, yellow, or orange. Red, yellow, or orange. We're aligning with the fiery energy of Leo. Red, yellow, or orange. So y'all see, I had already gotten this painting. I fell in love with this painting. I purchased this about a month or 2 ago. And so it works perfectly as the background for this 888 portal. Obviously, this lion energy is standing out very strongly here. So let me see. All right, Jessica.
Hey.
Hey, lady. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well.
Right. I see you got your lions up. You ready? All right. Well, let's see. I'm about to put up the declaration here. We're going to start off with the burning and releasing. So I'm going to add this first, and then we're going to jump in. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me put it up. So first, we have to clear out all wicked rituals of sacrifice, evil eye, and wicked intentions that the powers that were, that they are currently, let me go back. Okay. That they are currently manifesting in the background, y'all. Okay. So a purple candle. I didn't mention a purple candle. Of course, you can do that if you feel guided to, but this right now, we're looking at the red, yellow, or orange. So I have the declaration written down. I already have it on my paper. When y'all are ready, when you already have it written down, put your fire emojis in the chat to let us know that you're ready to light this thing up. So let's see. Of course, you all know the 8-8. The number 8 is also the infinity sign. And so right now, this is a high time for manifesting things, okay? Manifestations are at an all-time high. You definitely don't want to miss out on the power of this current energy. Trust and believe the powers that were. They ain't sleeping on it. Okay, I see a lot of you are putting the fire emojis. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more time over there. So, of course, with the infinity sign, it represents the as above, so below energy. As above, so below. So whatever we're putting out there in the spiritual realm, we are expecting 333 in the chat. We are expecting that it will manifest in the 3D realm. The number 8 also deals with abundance.
Yes.
So this is the time to call in your inheritance and your birthright. So if anything has been withheld from you, this is the time to get the energy moving so that you can call in what is inherently yours. So let me see. I'm just waiting for a few more of you to put your fire emojis in the chat. Now, of course, y'all know I couldn't put the entire part up as far as in spirit and in flesh and sleep and awakened state across all timelines, realms, and dimensions known and unknown. Generally, I would add that, but I didn't have enough room to put it on this declaration. So you could say in spirit and in flesh across all timelines, realms, and dimensions. All right. So if you are not able to write things down and burn, maybe light your sage, whatever it is that you can do to help to enhance the energy right now. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my end to burn the declaration, and I would like for y'all to join in. All right, y'all, let's set this thing on fire. I declare and decree all wicked rituals of sacrifice, evil eye, and all wicked intentions towards the chosen organic beings are swiftly destroyed in spirit and in flesh, in sleep and awakened state across all timelines, realms, and dimensions known and unknown. I'm looking around, y'all, because I got a million smoke detectors in this house. And I don't know where the other one is at, so it might sound off. Hopefully it won't. But if I mute it, then y'all know that the smoke detector has gone off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna light my frankincense and myrrh incense to clear the energy, that all interference that might try to come through now cleared out. Y'all can light your sage if you happen to have it, or just set your intentions mentally that all interference is now cleared out. Nothing will interfere with our declarations. And let me see. Okay. Jessica, did you have something else that we needed to burn and release, or were you adding something for the candle ritual?
The candle ritual.
Okay.
I did have an invocation that I wrote.
Okay. Is this for the candle or burning and releasing?
Well, no, it's not for the candle.
Okay. All right. Well, you could definitely bring that if you want to state that now. And if y'all have already done the burn and release, okay, I see the fire emojis. Just put the fire emojis to let us know that you've already done that. And I'll be taking this one down in a second. You can always go back and rewind because this will be posted. Okay. Or uploaded, whatever you call it. All right. Let me know when you're ready, Jessica.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
This 888 portal from the message that I was channeling, this is the royal return. So this is a fixed energy. So this is like a reckoning. So this is the melanated beings taking their place, basically.
Okay.
Stepping their power and claiming what's theirs by birthright. So
Okay.
in this invocation, this is what I wrote. Um, it says, "This is a sacred call to every daughter of the earth, every womb carrier, every divine seed who remembers. Today is not just the 8-8. I know we're ahead of time. So this is the 888 portal because we're still under the Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. So this is still Saturn's energy. A triple alignment of power, prophecy, and payback. So the earth is speaking and we are her voice. So speak now as the Empress womb, the vessel of restoration. Speak as the daughter of Gaia and the child of Saturn. On this day, the verdict is rendered and the karma is returned. So welcome to the portal of reckoning. That's the invocation that I have. So
I know that's right. The verdict is rendered and the karma is returned. That's powerful just off the strength that we're talking about. What goes around comes back around again. That's what that infinity, that, that energy looks like.
mhm.
So, okay, I hope y'all receive that message. It's already been spoken out into the atmosphere. So it is. Ashe. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat. Y'all put Ashe in the chat for that powerful message. Okay. On behalf of the organic beings, the melanated and organic beings. Now, that's another thing that, came to mind, because there are some that might feel a little bit excluded from that. But I will say, an organic being is someone who understands position.
Yes.
They understand that hierarchy is necessary. They understand that there is a mother, there is a father, there is an original. When you have that understanding and you don't rebel against it, you don't refuse it, you don't push back against it to try to explain it away, then you are in fact in your organic state. And you are also under the umbrella of this particular covering. Regardless of your skin color, you are under the umbrella when you understand your positioning and recognizing the hierarchy. Okay?
Yes.
So, with that being said, the next part of this declaration. Oh, okay. Someone was asking, Jessica, will you be able to post that? So I think, can you, let me see. It might take a minute to type that up. So how about if they come over to your channel to receive it? Are you able to put it like underneath your post?
In the community, on the community board section, can I do
On
that?
your community board section? Okay. Unless you're able to type it in the comments, I don't know if you can do that. You should be able to do it on your end. But otherwise, you may be able to find it on her community post on her channel. So go over and subscribe. It's what is it? Unconditionally Jack?
Unconventional Jack. It's here on the screen.
Unconventional Jack. Yes, it's underneath her name right here. All right, y'all. So let's move into the next portion of this particular ritual. So we're going to get our candles, y'all. So for those of you who have candles, whether you have red, orange, or yellow, get your permanent marker. I'm getting ready to put the declaration up that's going to go on the candle. Now, you can light this candle today. You can wait if you want to wait until it's closer to the 8-8 portal. As long as you do it between now and 8-8. So let me see. Where is it at? Where is it at? Okay. So this is the declaration, and there's a second half to it where we're going to say in spirit and in flesh across all timelines, realms, and dimensions. So of course, I'll put that up once everybody has this written down on their candles. So once you have it written down, just put either a candle emoji or fire emoji. Once you have this portion written down, let us know that you're ready to press forward here, because we're going to be tapping in. I feel called to take a sneak peek behind the veil to also see what's going on with the powers that were and what they're planning for this 8-8 portal. So we're definitely going to pull some cards for ourselves, but also to stay ahead of the game. Because see, this is chess right here. This is the way that these beings are playing is like they never play fair. They never have. And they're losing their grip. They've lost their grip. And so just like any child that loses their candy, they are kicking and screaming because they don't want to go. They don't want to go. They don't want to hand over, as Jessica was mentioning, we receive our inheritance back. What was the exact words that you said?
Uh, receive it. Oh, taking it back is our birthright.
Yeah, it's something you said about receiving what is inherently ours, but I forgot the way that you worded it.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. That it's our birthright to stand in the Leo's energy, because this is our authority, and this is us taking back our power, and it's
Yes,
our birthright. This is ours. We're taking back the Ace of Pentacles.
okay.
Everything belongs with us. It ain't money and all that stuff that we supposed to be chasing. It's harmony. That's what Mother Gaia told me.
Mm,
Harmony that creates
mm.
balance and peace. Because if you're chasing the money, you're gonna get the money and the chaos that come with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, without a doubt. So, I mean, of course, when you're in harmony, though, you're going to naturally attract abundance. That
Hmm.
comes with that's a part of the birthright, but you have to first establish that internal harmony. See, the powers that were, they received their power, their wealth, you know, their clout through sacrifices, but it's always temporary. And I know a lot of people are like, but it's been hundreds of years that these beings have been in power. But consider that's a very short period of time when you think about, you know, since the beginning of time. That's a very short period. Their time is short lived, probably shorter than any other empire that's ever existed. So, for even on an individual level, when you use wickedness to attract wealth, it's always short lived, always. But when you establish peace and harmony within yourself and you do it from a space of righteousness and integrity, when you attract your wealth, it is going to be long term and generational. And that's why, for a lot of you out there, you're like, man, it's taking a minute for me to get there. That's because anything worth having is worth waiting for.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So this is a different type of cultivation. The seeds that y'all are planting out there, the harvest is taking a minute for you to see the fruition of it, because it's going to be so plentiful. Okay, it's going to be so much of an overflow that you're going to be like, man, I understood why it took so long. Goodness gracious, you're going to need 50 million baskets just to fill it up. That's how big your harvest is going to be. So don't fret if you feel like it's taking long, but consider this 8-8 portal is getting ready to expedite the process. Y'all are going to see some shifts happen in your life, whether it's those downloads. Many of you are having DNA activations happening right now. As we was talking about before, Jessica, dream states are getting ready to be heightened. It's getting ready to be all types of, light codes. It's getting ready to be firing off within you. And you're going to be like, goodness gracious, what is happening? I'm telling you, the shift is massive. So
Yes.
you're being called to align with this shift right now. So if y'all have already written down this declaration, just put the fire emoji out there if you have this portion of it down, and I'll add the second half, which is short. This is being written on your candle with a permanent marker. If I didn't say that before, you're writing this portion on the glass of your candle, red, orange, or yellow candle with a permanent marker. Now, there's also something else that I wanted you to, when you get a chance, Jessica, to kind of go over the requests as we were speaking about, as far as the earth calling for us to incorporate our DNA into our rituals here.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready, because I'm just going to put this other portion of the declaration up. So I see most of you have it written down. I'll just leave it for a couple more minutes, but I feel like it's been up long enough because I've been running my mouth for sure. Let me see. Okay, I think most of you have it up here. So here's the second part. It's just going to say, in spirit and in flesh, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown. In spirit and in flesh, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown.
YouTube.
All right, we got 430 people in the chat. Y'all are in here deep today. Thank you, Karen, for the super chat. I appreciate you, and I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return.
Let's see. Badges not
Don said, keep running your mouth. Okay. All right. So when y'all have this written down, we're going to go ahead and light this candle. And obviously, my candles generally, they burn about 3 days. So what's today's date? Today is the 2nd. Okay. So it'll be burned out before 8/8. So the energy will already be out in the atmosphere. We got 444 in the chat. The energy will already be out in the atmosphere. Okay. You notice that too, Official Roxy. Yes. 444 in the chat. Very powerful that would show up when I just mentioned the energy will already be out in the atmosphere, because the number 4 represents security. It's stable, it's solid, it's immovable. It's like 4 legs to a table. It ain't going nowhere. So it's up and it's stuck, y'all. So when you have this last portion written on your candle, go ahead and put your fire emojis up so we can go ahead and light this last portion written on your candle. So let me see here. I'm going to go back to the initial banner. Let's see, where is it at? Hold on, y'all.
I don't think it's gonna let me send it.
That's weird. I'm trying to find my declaration. Okay. Is this the one? I feel like it was different. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Y'all ready to set this thing on fire? So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then I'm going to light it. So it says, I declare and decree this 888 portal ignites the flame to awaken my divine potential and align with my soul's true path. I call forth abundance, clarity, and transformation in all areas of my life. Let me see something here. I feel like is this the wrong? Hold on, y'all. Let me go back. Is this the one I put up the first time, Jessica?
This,
why does it feel like I had a different one up? I think I did 2 separate ones, but this might be it here.
yeah, this is the one I was writing down.
This the one I had up earlier? Okay, I just have to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, because some people out there like, you said no. What? No, it's not. It's not? You know what?
I think it is.
Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. That's the one. Okay. Because I feel like I had another one that I put up. All right, y'all. Well, the one that I put up earlier was the burn and release. The one that I put up earlier is what we wrote down to burn. Of course, I know that one, but I think I had 2 separate declarations that I was kind of going back and forth with for this particular 888 portal. So, and of course, you're going to add in spirit and in flesh, in sleep and awakened state across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown. So let me start again, y'all, just to make sure that the energy is right. So I declare and decree this 888 portal ignites the flame to awaken my divine potential and align with my soul's true path. I call forth abundance, clarity, and transformation in all areas of my life, in spirit and in flesh, in sleep and awakened state, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown. And so it is. Okay. And once y'all have that lit, you could, of course, join us with the Ashe or your fire emoji in the chat. There it is on my end, y'all. So giving thanks to the Most High, Mother and Father, and our
Yeah.
spiritual team and ancestors of love and righteousness, righteous war, because righteous war for stepping in to ensure that these things come to pass on behalf of myself, my lineage, and all chosen seed across the four corners of the globe. Okay. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and jump in, y'all.
Okay.
And I want to definitely pull some cards to see. I don't know. Should we start off with the powers that were, y'all? Do we need to tap in and see what they're up to first? Or should we start off with the chosen to see what's going on with our energy? Let me know what y'all think. Where should we begin?
Did you want me to mention the
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so when I was channeling the message, with Mother Gaia and the Most High, the offerings and the rituals was shedded hair, nail clippings to bury in the soil, spit. I call it spit. Saliva. Um, After you've spoken words of affirmations or just spoke positive things into the atmosphere, spit, and you can put it in a cup or whatever, a jar, save it until you get ready to do the ritual. Sow it. Um, Menstrual blood. Did I say menstrual blood?
No.
Because it's life codes in the DNA of the divine feminine, and it's a sacred code. So, and it holds ancestral memory. So we're giving. How she gave it to me was we're giving her what she gave us. But when we give it back to her, it's an offering. And it's going to ignite things within us. And she's going to honor that. So,
Yes.
and it's going to open up things within us, things that were in sleep state, laying dormant.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you mentioned nail clippings,
uh-huh.
saliva, menstrual blood, or hair. Also hair.
Hair. Mm-hmm. Don't throw your hair away. Pick it out the comb, brush, sew it.
Give it back to Mother Earth. So this is very important because I was following Mama T's channel. Shout out to Mama T. She did a message about that about a month ago concerning the menstrual blood. And of course, this is for the divine feminine out there, But masculines, this is where y'all can join in too, because as Jessica, she's mentioning the hair, the nail clippings, the saliva. So everybody got that, But the menstrual blood of the divine feminine is very powerful when you are spilling that blood back into the earth, because consider most of the time when blood is spilled on the earth, it has been done through wickedness, trauma, violence. And that's the only time that the earth has been able to connect with us concerning our DNA from that level. So of course, when we have our menstrual, we are freely giving of that blood from a space of love. So the vibrational frequency of that fluid as it's being poured into the earth is on a totally different vibe. It's a much higher vibration. And so that connection is then going to ignite something that the earth hasn't been able to experience in a long time, because we've been too asleep to understand the power of our menstrual blood. So that's something else to consider. But of course, you may consider the other forms of DNA, as Jessica mentioned, because it's very powerful. So for me personally, I took a piece of my lock, but the menstrual blood is also a ritual for me on a regular basis. So for you divine feminine out there, you may consider pouring your menstrual blood monthly into the earth and doing it as a ritualistic thing every month to reconnect with Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. Okay. All right. So let's see. Many of you said you want to start off with our energy first. So of course, the chosen, we go first because we was here first. We're the organic beings. So we will speak about the inorganic beings last, so they can take a back seat. Okay. So let's jump right in, y'all. So let's see. We're just going to pull a few messages here. And of course, Jessica, we'll just kind of bounce off of each other to see what is coming through.
Okay.
So I'm going to tap in and see the frequency of this 888 portal for the chosen this year. Let's just see. Yes, you missed the declaration. That's okay. You didn't miss anything. I'm going to post this video. Once we're done, you'll be able to go back and retrieve all of that information. So you're not missing out on anything. Okay. And that's okay for you, DP Ether. She says her menstrual is no more. That's fine. You have all types of DNA. You know, it doesn't just come through your menstrual blood. So you just decide on what you want to give back to Mother Earth. Yes, your hair. Bury your hair in the earth. And you know, you remember back in the day, our parents and grandparents always said, don't throw that hair in a garbage can. Apparently they knew something that we didn't know, but of course under Christianity, most of us, they don't tell you like it's a spiritual reason behind that. You see what I'm saying? Maybe a lot of people was paranoid that, you know, others could do rituals against you, or it was just bad luck. But I don't think they understood the significance of it. But now it's like, okay, when you comb your hair, you comb your children's hair, you know, make it ritualistic so that when you get ready to, you know, pull that hair out of the brush, bury it, you know.
Yes.
Or, you know, if you have a plant or something, you know, where you can bury it there until you get ready to take it outside, however you choose to do it. But definitely put it back into the earth. So let's see. So what I'm starting off with is New Vision. This is the first card that's coming out. Let me see. This is Roman numerals. This is the number 12. Okay, that breaks down to a 3. So it's taking me back to the Empress energy too. But this person, there's a version of them that was crawling down on their hands and knees, but that version is starting to disappear. And there's this new energy that's emerging here for the chosen seed right now. So many of you may find that you're getting a lot of downloads as far as like creative ideas that's getting ready to start pouring through, those new visions, new ideas, new creativity that's getting ready to awaken within you during this 8-8 portal. Let me see. Okay, so New Vision is starting off first. The person, they have their wings here in this card, so you are definitely able to take flight. There's a new version of that is being created. It actually says New Vision. Did I say new version?
You said vision.
Okay, new vision, but I did just say new version. So obviously that's all interchangeable. There's a new version of you that's being created right now, especially when we're talking about the activation of dormant DNA. You talking about that, you know, there's a claiming, you know, scientists, they claim that what 90% is dormant. Okay, don't quote me on that, but it's a high percentage that's supposed to be dormant DNA. So if you're telling me that the majority of my DNA would be dormant, largely because most of us was put to sleep for a long time. So if you're talking about people who are asleep and you're giving birth, you know, you're having offspring from one generation to the next, then the likelihood that their DNA is also going to be dormant is pretty high because we're all in a sleep state. But now that we're awakened, these new babies that we're giving birth to, these babies come out woke. Eyes be wide open. They're able to hold their head up, ready to crawl after the second day. Okay. They come out woke. So obviously something is shifting in the atmosphere and also within us. Our DNA is activating. So this is showing a new version and a new vision is taking place here during this Aquarius age, as well as the 8-8-8 portal. Something great is happening here. So again, if you find that your creativity is at an all-time high, you're perfectly aligned with this energy right now. Did you have something over there, Jessica?
No, not yet. I'm still shuffling.
All right. So I'm gonna just take another one here. So I have moment to moment. Okay. This is the number 2. So it's all about balance. The number 2 is the High Priestess in a tarot deck too. So with that being said, like I feel like not only are you balanced despite what's happening around you, there's this energy of tuning everything out. It came out in my most recent 8-8-8 portal message, where it was showing that during this period, it is imperative that you separate yourself from any and everybody who is toxic, low vibrational, trauma bonding, any type of relationship that does not serve your highest good, that literally came out. It was such a loud and clear message from beginning to end during that 888 message. I think that was like 2 or 3 days ago. So if you find that energies are, they being bumped out of your life, and, it's like, hey, you having to shut the door on some people, you are perfectly aligned and exactly where you need to be during this 888 portal. You're not skipping a beat. There are no mistakes. It's happening exactly as it should, because you're being called to stay in the now with this moment to moment. Stay in the now. Literally, there's a city behind this person, but it's all tuned out with all of this high vibrational energy, all of these colors here. It's showing that you're being called to create your own climate, create your own atmosphere to surround. It's like a protective barrier to protect this energy and this frequency, this portal that you're entering into. You don't want to bring no low vibrational energy with you. So there's going to be heightened emotions and things during this period, because I did see that as well. During this 888 portal, your emotions could be heightened because you're going to be purging too. In that space of isolation and hermit mode, there will be a purge. So it's not like, it doesn't mean that you're going backwards. But again, like I was mentioning with that high priestess energy for the number 2, it's just allowing you to hear more clearly, because for some people, their receptivity was off. It's like when you're driving through a heavily wooded area and they don't have a lot of satellites and stuff like that, when those old school, the radios, it becomes staticky. So if you have a whole lot of distractions and just unhealthy energy surrounding you, just that person's energy by itself, just being right there in your presence, creates a staticky energy for your receptivity. So you're being called to like push it all out, tune it out, and get comfortable with hermit mode right now. You are perfectly aligned if that's where you are.
That's right.
So let me see. Are you ready, Jessica?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So I ended up using the Chosen Journey deck, and but I was called to this deck, but I'm still going to tell you what I have here. So I got the Aries card, okay, and this energy is the leadership energy. So we're getting ready to stand and rise into the I am energy. And this is some cocky energy. So with that being said, this energy is very passionate, and we're going to be very self-assured and have the energy and become motivated to set goals, all right, pertaining to, stewardship and whatever goals you're setting under this 888 energy, and you're going to move forward in like an Aries energy. But this energy, because I got karmic partner here, this energy is going to be very dominant. So karmic partners will not, like karmic contracts will not stand. So, and this is why I got the Tower card. Like it's going to fall because you're moving towards more of a soul tribe. Okay, this says soul mate, but our soul family. And with this, what is this? The Zodiac 108 cards. I got the Child card, but this energy, this is a stubborn energy, but it's fixed. So you're gonna stand in this Aries energy. What is Aries the sun or something? The first house, right? So, but the sun belongs to Leo though. That's Leo's ruling planet. So it still falls under this energy. So this is like we're going to be setting boundaries with this child. We're going to be setting boundaries, attending to ourselves, delighting in ourselves, and moving forward and listening to ourselves, listening to our bodies, especially if you got Leo in the first house, Aquarius in the first house, any fixed sign, Scorpio, Taurus in the first house. And you're going to be very expressive. Like this Leo energy is bringing about a reckoning. It's not playing. It's walking through all 12 houses. That's what God told me. And it's bringing about a reckoning. Whatever's not supposed to be there ain't going to be there. As long as you stay in alignment. Okay? And you're going to be unchanged. Like you're going to stand. If you're in hermit mode, you're going to be happy in hermit mode. Your mind is made up, unchanged. And you're saying the axe is laid at the tree. Whichever way the tree falleth, so shall it be.
Mm-hmm.
You're standing your ground.
Yes.
What I
So it's
got?
like it's definitely that take charge energy. It reminds me of a message that I did a couple of days ago as well, where I was saying that my daughter was checking her siblings, and she was like, "Well, first of all, and second of all, and third of all," and then she had a fourth of all, and I was like, "Well, my goodness, this girl, she got a whole lot of alls." Okay, she's the most quiet and the sweetest. Well, I hate to say that out loud, but it's true. She's like a little angel. She's very giving. And so the fact I was saying, in that message, like it's check-in season, people are speaking their truths and they are not making any apologies for it right now with this Leo energy. So it's like, it's that bold energy, that boldness of a lion. And the lion, when you hear that lion roar, oh, everybody gonna get quiet. Okay. I don't care what animal is around. Everybody is going to get silent. But also consider, it's actually putting me in the mind of the Lion King right now. Okay. It's putting me in the mind of the Lion King right now. So we got to talk about this because I just heard, let me see, Mustafa. Which one was the evil brother? Do you remember that movie, Jessica? Scar.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting that his name is Scar, because now I just got a totally different download. You see what I'm saying? Scar was jealous of Mufasa, right? Mufasa was the king of the jungle. And Scar was jealous of his brother because he received the throne. So even though they looked like they was cut from the same cloth, they most certainly was not the same. You could tell it was a stark difference between Mufasa and Scar. And his son, what was his son's name? I can't even remember. Shoot. One of y'all, somebody out there know the son's name. But he was getting ready to take on, he would be heir of the inheritance. So Scar sacrificed Mufasa. Simba, there you go. Simba. I need to see what that name means. Something is coming through in this message, y'all. I'm getting there. I'm about to figure it out. Let me see something here. Okay, Simba primarily means lion in Swahili. That's the name. That's what it represents. It just means lion. Okay, so there is pushback. So just consider, if you're thinking about the movie itself, you may find that the people that's closest to you are like they're trying to push. They don't want you to maintain that position on the throne. They don't want you to receive that inheritance. So there is this desire to, maybe if it's not to sacrifice you directly, but to sacrifice your peace, to sacrifice your happiness, because there could be a sense of jealousy or maybe envy or the scars. He wears his scars. People are wearing their scars and they're not giving themselves permission to just heal and to accept it as life lessons, whatever they've gone through. So you may find that you have a lot of pushback from the people that's closest to you right now, and you're being called to set some healthy boundaries, as you mentioned before, Jessica, with the Aries energy. In your masculine energy, not over giving in your feminine, over nurturing, coddling emotions, but standing in your truth and speaking from your heart. So the solar plexus is very important to focus on really getting that solar plexus in alignment during this season right here. But let's just see what else is coming through. So I have the card of suppression. Okay. Now, this is the number 10, which breaks down to the 1. So, of course, that's the magician and it's a Rodat. So what I'm picking up with this suppression energy is that you're being called to alchemize and transmute anything that could be dormant within you. This is the time to do a lot of deep diving in this hermit mode to really face whatever fears, whatever internal vices, whatever internal wounds that you might have covered or suppressed. So if you find that there are particular triggers, those triggers are literally just to get that energy out so that you can be on a perfect frequency to align with this 888 portal. So as the magician, you possess all of the tools that you need to shift the energy here. What do you have over there, Jessica?
So I have ego death, do not force solutions, and path to mastery. So this ego death, I just heard fed up. So a lot of people that's participating in this 888 portal energy ritual, they are fed up, and it's almost, I feel like they're at the point to where they're just coming to themselves because there's nothing else that they could do but sit and listen to the Most High, watching videos like this, getting downloads, because they know that everything that they need to move to the next path or whatever, to get direction, they know that they're going to have to sit and get it and listen. So you're quieting. It's like you're saying, what I know, what I thought I knew, you know what I'm saying? It didn't work before. So I'm sitting, I'm getting the information, getting the downloads, and I'm doing it a different way. So, but because you're having to sit in this ego death energy, you're not accepting any crap from anybody because you ain't accepting it from yourself.
Okay.
And you ain't, and the thing is, it says do not force solutions. That's why you in hermit mode. You waiting on directions. And this ritual is going to put you on a path to mastery. And I'm gonna say this is unfuckwittable energy.
Okay.
So
yes,
this is, you're talking about a reckoning.
I like that, because you said you're not going to tolerate it from anybody else because you're not going to tolerate it from yourself.
That's
and
right.
That makes a lot of sense because it aligns with what just came out with the suppression card. But that's perfect though, because those beings that was meant to trigger, if y'all are, if you let me know if you had anybody trigger you lately, because I know good and damn well I did. I'm not gonna talk about them today. I'm not gonna go there. But if y'all had anybody trigger you lately, put a I don't even know what emoji you could put in the chat. Put a bomb or something. I don't know. But these triggers are meant to catapult whatever this thing was that was dormant up and out of your frequency. Okay. It was meant for that, but it's not meant for it to stay there. It's not meant for these energies to hover there. So this is imperative. That hermit mode energy allows you to recalibrate, regroup, recharge, do all of that without the extra foolery to kind of keep you in that frequency. Because I strongly sense, now I wouldn't be surprised if the powers that were was behind the scene doing some chaos magic right about now. Okay, because just like I was telling you, what was that yesterday, Jessica? I was like, I feel like it's going to be some heightened. It may be some crazy things that's getting ready to come up pretty soon. So I feel like they're in the background, trying to create a low vibrational frequency and getting people charged up to try to, throw off your energy so that you're not in alignment during this 888 portal. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So you're being called to stay in the now, moment to moment, to go within in that high priest and high priestess energy. Trust your inner knowing, align with this new vision. Because even though you felt like you was on your knees, your hands and knees, I know y'all can't see that, but there's a figure down here. This used to be your energy, but now you're rising up. So let me see what else is coming through for the chosen right now. Okay, so I have the card of guilt. Guilt. This ain't nothing but a outside force. If y'all can see, it's a bunch of it looks like demon hands that's clawing at her crown here. There is a force that wants to create guilt within you. Don't fall for it. It's an illusion. It's nothing more than an illusion. So let's just say, because I just heard for a lot of people, this guilt can consist of going into hermit mode, like guilty for telling that person, oh, I ain't going to talk to you for about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even longer. Shoot. Some people, you might do it a week, but however long, there's a form of guilt. It's trying to create this energy of guilt within you. So let me clarify this card, because it's a lot of low vibrational energy surrounding guilt. Guilt is very low vibrational. It's in the category of fear, shame, and it definitely causes a blocked root chakra. So if that's what's being created during this time of isolation, you want to burn and release all guilt and illusions. So let me see. So I have the dream coming out here. Let me see. What are you getting for guilt, Jessica? Do you have anything?
Guilt.
Because what I'm seeing with this dream card, it's almost like feeling guilty for not giving someone that, or fulfilling someone else's illusion, someone else's fantasy, feeling guilty for not creating something for someone else. It doesn't feel like this is something that you would want. This is like it's an illusion that someone else tried to create for you, and they wanted you to be a part of that illusion, is what I'm picking up. So it's like guilt for withdrawing your energy and taking your power back. That's kind of what I'm getting. But what do you have there?
The card no came out.
Mm.
And I got broken vase. So there could be guilt around just probably knowing that you have to tell somebody no. And knowing that you can't fix it this time.
Mm-hmm.
See, some of us, we make ourselves too available, and I'm guilty of that. And I was just saying to you, like, I'm gonna have to start telling people no, because I'm in alignment. I got work to do. You know, I'm setting goals and I'm moving forward, being progressive. So this is me standing in a whole different level of independence. And see, and that's where we are.
Mm-hmm. So that's powerful. So you got the answer. The guilt is associated with saying no. And I mean, shoot, that's a full sentence. Like I've gotten very comfortable with that sentence. No, it's easy. It flows off my tongue, you know, with no problem. No is no. That's it. And that's all. There's no explanation needed. It's just no. But a lot of people have a hard time accepting that word right there. You know, they need you to say, oh, well, maybe later, or I'll think about it, or okay. Like people want you to just surrender and give in to their desires, their hopes, their fantasies. They want you to give in to their illusions. So definitely don't feel guilty about saying no. Get very comfortable with that. And that's what the emperor is all about. You spoke about the Aries energy. The emperor he says no with no problem. That's why the emperor is generally like, people associate the emperor with the boss, the supervisor, the leader. You see what I'm saying? And if you're going to be a boss of any company, if you're going to be a CEO of anything, you got to know how to say no, because you're protecting the greatest good of the establishment, right? If you constantly just giving in to what other people want, everybody going to run amok. So the guilt would have to be cleared out. Someone is trying to create that within you. But let me see. What is the opposite effect of this? What are you being called to do instead here? So look at that. I got the card of courage. Courage, which is in alignment with the Leo energy.
I got become a source of light.
You said of light or life?
Become a source of light.
Okay, so that makes sense, because look, it's all types of light surrounding this flower right here.
Yeah. And it's an image of the hummingbird. And I just heard independence. And I think I just said a new level, standing in a new level of independence.
Mm-hmm.
So fly.
Yeah, when you're speaking about the Aries. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To fly and shine bright.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy and in your calling.
Yeah. You see that brightness, all of that yellow in both cards. You see that light right there. So obviously this, you know, y'all got to know that these are messages coming from the divine source. You know, we ain't making this up now. It's two similar of messages that's coming through. So courage, having the courage to allow your light to shine. Don't let guilt, because this guilt card is so dark. You know, that energy is just so heavy. And it would make sense that you would get the hummingbird, because the hummingbird is maybe by far the lightest bird. I don't know if there's a bird lighter than a hummingbird, but you would have to be very light. 555 in the chat. There's some major changes that you would have to undergo. It's dealing with transformation. It's transformative energy. You're going to go through some major changes in order to align with this courage. But consider this flower right here is surrounded by rocks. It's funny because I was just watching this guy. He's on Facebook, but he does like different skits. And he was talking about the grass and how other grass that grows in the earth, just in the soil, is jealous of the grass that grows through the concrete. So he did this skit, you know, pretending that he was the grass that grew through the concrete. and other people would be the grass that grew through the soil. And he was like, do you understand what I have to go through? You can't do this. You don't have this type of power. You don't know what it's like to have to grow through hard places. This, I did this. This is something you could never do. Okay. So it's almost like that energy, embracing and embodying the fact that, yeah, you was able to overcome the hardest, the toughest things in life. People wouldn't even understand. Okay. They wouldn't be able to do it and still have the courage to shine after all of that. You got the nerve to shine after all of that. A lot of people expect for you to just be walking around with your head low, feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, feeling burdened, trauma bonding, feeling codependent. Like that's what they expected to come from you after going through all of the things that you've gone through. But you got the audacity to shine bright. Okay. So that's a large part of this shift here, having the courage to let your light shine despite what you've gone through and not feeling, you ain't gonna make no apologies for it. This ain't about coddling somebody else's ego. Let them feel uncomfortable in your presence. Let them feel, seen in your light, or I guess highlighting their demons in your light. Let them feel all of that being projected. They need to feel it because that's the only way they're going to start going within to do the work. But you doggone sure ain't gonna dim your light for nobody. Did you have something you wanted to say, Jessica? Because I know I can talk.
Yeah, I did get more cards. Let me see. What I got was in alignment. And I think we was mentioning how walking in alignment is what's going to position you to just have the understanding while you're in hermit mode that you standing in your new level of independence, because this card says you don't need anyone else. So this is clarifying, the standing in your new level of independence. But you're standing and you see how the moon, what is that, a crescent moon or something like that?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So this is what I was saying. You sitting and you getting downloads. So you're okay with being by yourself. It's okay because you understand that the pain was fuel, but you're sitting in divine feminine energy. So and then the next card, look, it says walk in stillness. You're not easily moved. So you're in alignment. So this portal is putting us in a position, and it's not by force. Our aura is going to damn near move mountains. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's going to give us a level of I can't even explain it. It's just unseen. The spirit world, our spiritual team is going to be moving behind the scenes just as sure as we are sitting in our position. Because this is royal energy. So we just got to make sure that we're not easily moved.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, the lion is not easily moved. I feel the need. Let me look at something real quick here. If you have something else to add, you can go ahead. I'm looking at something real quick.
Let's see.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to read this real quick concerning the lion, because it's something about this energy. Y'all might consider either getting a lion statue over these next few days, a picture, maybe listening to the lion's roar. Okay, turn that on and just listen to it, just to embody the energy, the frequency of the lion right now for this Lionsgate portal. So it says the lion is a symbol of divine sovereignty, embodying power tempered by wisdom, courage rooted in truth, and leadership guided by the heart. Spiritually, the lion represents the solar Christ energy, the golden light of divine will manifesting through form. The solar Christ energy, Christ consciousness is what it sounds like it's speaking on, but it's also connecting with the solar rays. Okay, because we even when you're talking about Christ, you talk about the raising of that energy, the raising of that frequency. So the solar rays, as well as the solar Christ, what does it say? The solar Christ energy, or the raising or manifestation of that energy. So that's what it is. When you're talking about Christ consciousness returning after 3 days, we're talking about after a few hundred years, the powers that were, they get shut down and we rise. The Christ consciousness awakens. The Messiahs come back. You know, we're given birth to again. We remember again. We're risen from the dead again. You see what I'm saying? We wake out of sleep again. That's what this is all about. But it says the lion is linked to the sun, symbolizing illumination, life force, and spiritual authority. In many esoteric traditions, it governs the heart chakra, aligning the individual with the divine will of the higher self. Okay, so it says, let your will be the roar of your soul, aligned with the light of truth. So we're getting a lot about truth, speaking truth, a heart chakra. It only makes sense that if things are triggering you emotionally, is to purge that energy so that the heart chakra frequency is that much more developed or evolved. You don't need a blocked heart chakra during this Lionsgate portal. You want to make sure that you're purging all of that energy. So let the triggers come, but also don't sit in it. Use it as a catalyst to activate that lioness or that lion within you. So let me just read this last part here. Courage and authenticity. To walk the lion's path is to live fearlessly, but not recklessly. The lion teaches heart-centered courage, the ability to speak and act in alignment with your soul, even when it costs you comfort.
Yes.
Again, we're talking about that hermit mode energy. In some cases, it gets uncomfortable. It's like, dang, I didn't expect to have to let that person go. I didn't expect to have to, but that's the frequency that we're on right now. If it costs you comfort, trust me, the price of, having to, remove somebody is far less. You'd rather pay that cost than to miss out on the frequency of this Lionsgate portal. So this is really powerful. The lion, align yourself with the frequency of the lion. This is the time to shapeshift into the lion frequency right now. Was you about to say? Thank you for the super chat, y'all. I'm sorry. It was a couple of people that did send super chats, but I've been running my mouth. So I pray y'all receive 1,000-fold in return. Thank you, Ruby Moon. Were you about to add something, Jessica?
Yeah, I had wrote because when you was reading heart chakra, I was actually reading my notes. It says Leo represents the throne and the heart. Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun governs the heart chakra. So this is a heart cleansing portal. So the divine is inspecting, who carries false pride, who has pure and impure motives. So it's like I said earlier, it's a reckoning, it's cleaning house.
Yes.
I mean, from the very ones that's close to you, it can be your son, your partner, your job, so
it can come from any direction. I mean, when I tell you they come through the cracks, they be like cockroaches. Like, where the hell did you come from? So yeah, Don, thank you for the super chat. I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return. Let me see something. So I'm just going to pull a couple more cards and we're going to check in and see what's going on with the powers that were. But this one, it says abundance. Okay, abundance. So this is powerful. There's no number on this card specifically, but this person is sitting on a book. So I feel like it's just saying you're sitting on a lot of wisdom. Many of you have books in you. You may be called to write a book, but you're sitting on a lot of wisdom that is directly connected to your abundance, your wealth. Okay. And this person, they have a lot of fruits and things around them. Okay. They're fully nourished. You have the sun and the moon here, which is showing an alignment of the masculine and feminine energy. It's very colorful in this picture. So it's showing the alignment of the chakras, everything flowing freely. And this person is also sitting on grass. So it's showing this connection to Mother Earth. Okay. All of that is, and then the lotus flower. So all of that is important right now. The mountains are far behind this person. So it's like you're moving further and further away from obstacles and things that seem like they was too big to overcome. Now these things are becoming smaller because, of course, the further away you move from certain things, obviously it becomes smaller in your you know, from as far as your vantage point, it starts to look that much less. I don't even know if that sounds right, but it's far less intimidating, right? The further away you get from the obstacle, it becomes far less intimidating, and then it seems that much less challenging. Ooh, I don't even think that's a word. That much less, is that? Girl, please, this English language, I know I spoke something else, but regardless, that's what it is. Okay, it doesn't seem that much of a challenge to you at this point. But what do you have over there, Jessica?
I have fire within, and this is the driving force to stand like in your energy, to stand in your royal energy. Okay, it's like we're gonna be walking, and like I said, things like it's gonna be coming from out of nowhere, but they're just spiritual tests. So that's a confirmation of what was said earlier. So.
And what did the first? What did the cards? What is the card labeled as? Because I didn't even hear that.
Fire within.
So fire, of course, because we're in a fire sign. Yeah, Leo energy.
Yeah, Leo. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I feel, even when we're talking about alchemy right now, I feel like fire right now is like the most powerful element to work with. And I'm not taking anything away from the other elements, because obviously we're still bringing in Mother Earth, because you may do the ritual to, you know, plant your DNA outside. And of course, air, you know, without air, there is no fire, right? So we need both in order to make it happen. So, I mean, but it's something about this fire energy right now where you definitely want to cater a lot of your rituals surrounding that particular element, you know? So let's just see. Is there anything else you wanted to add for the chosen before we tap into what's going on with the powers that were planning behind the scenes here?
Well, I wanted to go in and I said, well, I'll go more in depth on my channel, but this is what my mother Gaia told me. This Leo's portal is going to rectify all 12 houses. So whatever, I mean, it's Leo is actually standing up and walking through each house. And it's going to be a whole total like reckoning in what the fixed signs, because these signs are anchored. These are the army of the zodiac, like I said earlier: Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. So you guys, you know, stay in alignment up until the next following Leo season, and just watch how things start. You know, things are going to move for you, open for you. Just make sure you stay in your divinity. So.
Yeah. Okay. And if you want to know more about that, definitely check out Jessica's channel so that you can get more in-depth information on that. I appreciate the super chat to, let me see, I just saw somebody. Okay, Dawn, I think I acknowledged you earlier, as well as Lyra. I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return. Thank you. So let's see. Let's tap in and see what these fools are behind the scenes planning for this 888 portal. It's always good to know. That way, if you spiritual warriors out there feel called to do any additional rituals to combat their agenda, of course, I'm sure you all know what to do, but we're just going to tap in and see what is their next chess move? You know, what is their hand here? Let's just see. What are the powers that we're planning behind the scenes? Miss you. They want you to be in this longing energy, like you've been left out of something here. Okay, I feel like they're wanting you to feel like you missed out on something, like you made the wrong decision by separating yourself and acknowledging that you truly are different. Okay, you're not a sheep, but instead you're a lion. You're a lioness. It puts me in the mind of, because I just saw it in my mind's eye, of this card that I have in this deck here of the lion that's being tied down by a bunch of sheep. So I feel like the powers that were, they're trying to create this energy within you of feeling like there's a longing, there's something that you're lacking, there's a void there. And as you all know, that energy just kind of, it keeps you overthinking and in your head. So it reminds me of this card right here, where the lion is tied down by the sheep. And of course, this would never happen if this lion was fully awakened to their power and who they've been created to be. These sheep wouldn't even get that comfortable around this lion. But I feel like the powers that were is trying to create this narrative within you here. Let me see. Thank you for the super chat, Jean. I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return. Look at this depravity. So they're definitely trying to send some negative energy into your life here. Depravity. It says tyrant, spy, misfortune. Somebody wants to be, it's like creating tyrants around you, okay? Sending these low vibrational forces, but also consider, you know, people who have not done the work to heal or who's not actively putting forth some type of effort daily to become the better version of themselves, become the perfect pawns for the powers that were. 555 in the chat. Thank you, Allegory, for the super chat. I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return. They become the perfect host for low vibrational spirits, demons, whatever you want to call them, right? So that's exactly what this looks like. They are wanting to create tyrants around you so that when these energies, when you remove them from your life or when they remove themselves from your life, they want you to feel this sense of void, this sense of being left out here. Let me get one more. Yeah, see, I have run away. So this says, get away, keep away, give up. Oh, so they're trying to get us to give up. They want us to feel like we got to be on a run. They're trying to, it's almost like creating this energy of fear. So when you're in that energy of feeling like you don't have certain people around you, because remember the first card said miss you. When you're in that energy of overthinking, okay, I don't have this person or this person to fall back on or this person to call in case of XYZ, it creates, it's like they're trying to reawaken codependency within the collective right now. That's what I'm picking up with this, especially with the giving up card, running away, like running away from your divine purpose, running away from your calling, your mission. That's what they want you to do. And there she's wearing red. So the objective is to block the root chakra. Okay. So definitely continue to stay grounded, get connected to Mother Earth as often as possible, recharge your battery as often as possible, because it looks like that's exactly what they're focused on here. Did you have something to add, Jessica?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let me see. So then I also have here firm, okay, wide awake, clean, and decisive. This card reminds me of the Queen of Swords here. So the Queen of Swords, obviously she's full of wisdom. The Queen of Swords has been through a lot, okay? And so she's very firm, very direct, very practical in the way that she communicates. I feel like they want you to question those decisions to make those cuts in your life, okay? The Queen of Swords does not play any games. She speaks her truth and she makes cuts where necessary. So I feel like they're wanting you to question your decision. So just be, as long as you're consciously aware of the forces that's trying to oppose what you're working on, it's important to know both. If you don't understand the forces that's trying to oppose what you're working on, then how can you, it's almost like planting a doggone garden. You got a bunch of seeds out there, and the only thing you focused on is watering the seeds. But you ain't even focused. You don't remember that there's cankerworms. There's different types of insects and things like that might come in, pests that might come in to try to mess up your garden. So you got to also be proactive in eliminating anything, anyone, any thought process that could try to oppose the growth in the seeds that you're planting. That's why I tap in when it comes to the powers that were, because they are the biggest opposition. Outside of those people in your personal circle, the powers that were, they live, eat, sleep, and breathe, keeping the chosen seed in a suppressed, docile, just passive state. They want to rock you right on back to sleep because you are their biggest opposition. You are their biggest threat, without a doubt. Thank you, Kibby, for the super chat. I pray you receive 1,000-fold in return. You are the biggest threat. Once we come together collectively and we awaken to the power that we possess, we are the Christ consciousness arisen, reawakened from the dead. We were supposed to be dead and buried, never to return again. So the fact that we are here, despite all of the obstacles and the challenges and the things that these beings have done, shows you they want us to go back into that old energy, okay, of feeling that void, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're not accepted, wanting to give up. self-sabotaging your own visions, self-sabotaging your purpose and your destiny, going back around the sheeple because you don't want to continue to feel like you don't fit in somewhere. Okay, that's the whole objective. So just really keep that in mind. Let me see what else. So this says sorry. Look at this. They want you to feel sorry. It says, I am sorry. The unspoken apology, eternal regret. And regret for what? You don't have anything to apologize about, because the majority of the chosen seed, when your daily effort is to become the better version of yourself, you don't have a whole lot of moments where you feeling too sorry about anything. Okay? The decisions that you make is usually for the greatest good of yourself as well as others. Even if it hurts others, it's still for their greatest good. But they want you to feel guilty here. Eternal regret. That's a long damn time. That's saying forever in regret. And this is literally a picture of a grave, a tombstone. So it's almost like they want you to take that guilt and that regret to your grave. Absolutely not. Not in this lifetime. You could feel free to jump in at any time if you want to, Jessica. But I'm gonna, yes.
It's something about relationships here. I don't know. I'm not quite. It's not, the message ain't coming together quite yet for me, because I just had the fallen angels deck, and I put the cards back. But when I read the energy behind the card, it said it was talking about relationships. So I put that card back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I dealt these 3 cards, this is what I have. I have map. This is uncharted territory. Person of air. We're in the age of Aquarius, right? And I think he was mentioning the Queen of Swords. This is like rational and upright, quick-witted energy. And then here, the number 2, the rings here. And this is relationship, soulmate energy. So I don't know. What were the powers that were? What would they have to do with uncharted territories, person of air, and contracts, rings? I just heard spells.
Oh, yeah.
Or could it be that they're coming up with spells? They look at the water carrier. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the Aquarius energy here at the bottom of the deck, number 9. This is the number 9 year.
Mm-hmm. They know something is definitely about to come to a completion, because even you said it was a card that spoke on uncharted territories.
Yeah, maps.
Yeah, is that, yeah, because it reminds me of another card that's in that deck that speaks on the mother lode. It's almost like they know you. Is that the card? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the jackpot. That's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They know that we're right there. They know that you know how they've tried to, in the 3D now, they have attempted to prevent us from going to certain areas, or from, doing certain things that Mother Earth gives birth to, such as gold and diamonds. You saw the movie Blood Diamond and things like that. It's almost like it's all about preventing us from grabbing hold of it and touching what is inherently ours, because the contract, the agreement, as you spoke of, contracts, states that is our inheritance. It is our birthright.
This is what they are afraid of. This is their fear. Their fear is that we're going to find our way. That's why we have the map here. We're going to find our way, and we're not going to be moved by emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And we're becoming aware of our contract, because the other card in the Fallen Angels deck, I can't remember. It says something about it. I couldn't even pronounce this angel's name. So Fallen Angel. Stolus. But this is the angel of astrology. I think he created astrology. And see, this is how we get this is what we get an understanding of the contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's nothing that they could do about it, because with this, what is this mother lode at the bottom of the deck? That's us tapping into our wealth. And I just heard jackpot, and I just read jackpot at the same time. Mm-hmm. So, and just let y'all know I ain't making it up. Jackpot somewhere on here. I just saw it.
It's
So
time to be restored. Let's go ahead.
energy at the bottom of the deck.
Hmm.
Aries, diamond. Yeah. So
I just mentioned blood diamond. Yeah.
we're definitely in alignment, and they're afraid,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Because you mentioned that you said one of the angels was the angel of astrology. Is that what you said?
Yes, Stolas.
Okay. And that makes sense because if you're talking about a map that leads us to the inheritance, that is the map. Aligning yourself with astrology and the, positioning of the planets and understanding, the esoteric knowledge and things like that. That is the map that they've tried to prevent us from looking at. They told us that that was forbidden information. They hid it away from us, but now we're finding that map internally, recognizing that everything that's out there, so-called out there, is already internally. It's within us. It's in our DNA. It's in our, light codes. It exists within us. Everything that we see out in the cosmos, the solar system, all of it aligns with, our solar rays, or even our pupils, or our cells, or our fingertips. I wish Amias was on here today, because he can get deep into all of this. He probably watched. Shout out to Amias, but he knows all of these things very well. But it's like it's a straight whatever is as above, so below, as within, so without. So all we had to do was come into the remembrance of
Yeah.
these things about ourselves, and they can't withhold it from us. They could try to lock things away in vaults. They could try to tell us, oh, this particular region, we own this. You can't cross this particular line. They could put up all the red tape they want to. But once you tap inward, that diamond that you just showed, we got diamond particles in our DNA. Okay. All of these things that they tried to withhold from us, it was just a matter of remembrance, coming into remembrance, remembering, repiecing, okay, putting it all back together. And that's what we're doing. So now when you mentioned emotions, Jessica, it goes back to the original messages that came out about
Yes.
pining for people, missing people, feeling regret, feeling sorry, feeling deprived, and misfortune. Those are all low vibrational emotions that would prevent a person from even thinking about moving towards their inheritance. How can you focus on moving in the right direction when you're stuck in the paralysis of analysis? That will keep you frozen all day if you're over analyzing what didn't go right, what could have went right, who left, who all of this other foolery. That's what they want to do, create the paralysis of analysis. That is the objective of the powers that were right now. So be very mindful, y'all, of where your emotions take you right now, especially during this 888 portal, and how other people attempt to trigger you back into that frequency, even though you are consciously making the effort to remove yourself and to maintain a high vibrational climate. Anything else you want to say? Because I'm going to be looking into this book right here real quick, just to see if there's anything else they're up to.
No, it's nothing else I wanted to say.
Okay, so I'm just going to channel a message real quick. This is the 48 Laws of Power. Y'all know I tend to channel messages through books. So this book right here tells you all the tricks of the snakes. Okay, because only a snake would move like this. This book, when I first got it, I actually called the guy, because I purchased it from a melanated vendor. He was at a park, and I just got it because it was speaking on laws. So I'm thinking, okay, the Hermetic laws, okay, it's talking about law. So let me get this book. And when I started reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is stuff that I would never do to a person. So I called him up. He had took a picture with me, because he wanted to post it just to show that he was getting, clientele or whatnot. And I was like, can you take that picture down? Because I don't want nobody thinking that I actually back this type of, energy. I don't stand for this. But then my spiritual team was like, girl, do you not know that you have received a book full of the chess moves that your enemies will be making against you and chosen? And once I got that, I called him back up. I was like, don't worry about it. You keep the picture up. I understand why I got this book. So with that being said, let me tap in and see. You know what? Actually, Jessica, I need you to help me out.
Okay.
Give me a number. This book has let me see how many pages. The last page is 429. Give me a number from 1 to 429.
I'm with 88.
Oh, that makes sense. I don't even know why I didn't think of that. Okay, let's see. What trick do they have up their sleeve? We're going to read message 88, page 88, rather, and see what comes through. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. They down there acting real wild right about now. The powers that were don't want me to get this one. Let's see. So this says the weakness of making others depend on you is that you are in some measure dependent on them. Didn't we just get done talking about codependency? What the hell? Let's keep going. But trying to move beyond that point means getting rid of those above you. It means standing alone, depending on no one. Such is the monopolistic drive of a J.P. Morgan or a John D. Rockefeller. Oh, mentioning the hands behind the doggone curtain. Hello. To drive out all competition, to be in complete control. If you can corner the market, so much the better. No such independence comes without a price. You are forced to isolate yourself. Monopolies often turn inward and destroy themselves from the internal pressure. Turn inward, destroy yourself from the internal pressure. Didn't you just say that earlier, Jessica? Speaking on facing yourself, you said if you won't tolerate it from yourself, you damn sure ain't gonna tolerate it from nobody else. So turning inward in that isolation, right? Yep. They also stir up powerful resentment, making their enemies bond together to fight them. What the hell is going on? Is this not what we've been talking about the whole time? The opposition, pretty much dwelling within those people around you to create fights, to become the tyrant. Okay, Let's see. This is what the powers that were, this is what they're up to, y'all. This is clarifying every card that we just read. They also stir up powerful resentment, making their enemies bond together to fight them. The drive for complete control is often ruinous and fruitless. Interdependence remains law. Independence, a rare and often fatal exception. Better to place yourself in a position of mutual dependence than to follow the critical law rather than look for its reversal. So they're trying to get you in the space of dependency, codependency, okay? They're even trying to say that it's better for you to be codependent on someone else than to be in opposition to others. Okay, so this is definitely the agenda here. So it says you will not have the unbearable pressure of being on top, and the master above you will, in essence, be your slave. He will depend on you. It said the master above you will, in essence, be your slave. So they understand hierarchy here. That's what we begin this message speaking on. The lion is the king of the jungle. These beings understand hierarchy. The master above you will, in essence, be your slave. That is someone who is very much so asleep to the power that they possess. They want you to go back into that slave mentality of feeling like there's a void, feeling like you don't have enough, scarcity mindset, lack mentality, codependency, traumas, all types of stuff. They want you back in the scar from Lion King, Mustafa, feeling like you got to fight for your position instead of just allowing yourself to be crowned based on your own integrity. They want you in this low vibrational space, not accepting that the Most High said, no, but I'm crowning them over there. I find her worthy. I find him worthy because they've done the work. So keep that in mind, y'all. Let me just read this other piece real quick. It says, make people depend on you. More is to be gained from such dependence than courtesy. He who has slaked his thirst immediately turns his back on the well, no longer needing it. When dependence disappears, so does civility and decency, and then respect. Damn. The first lesson which experience should teach you is to keep hope alive, but never satisfied. keeping even a royal patron ever in need of you. Even a royal patron. They're saying even those with the royal blood, the royal DNA, if you can keep them codependent on you, then you really have it in a bag. Okay? So they are most certainly going after the royalty DNA, the awakened Christ consciousness. Those of you who are the messiahs of your lineage, you best believe everything that's come out. Y'all got to go back and watch it if you're just coming in. Everything that has come through in this message aligns with what the powers that were currently up to. So watch your emotions. Don't allow anybody to take you back into a state of codependency. And it's not just the codependency on people. It can also be codependency just on material things. Codependency, that feeling of scarcity, like you don't have enough of something. Codependency on the government, feeling like, oh my God, Trump just said that they're getting ready to do this. Got people shaking in their boots, feeling like they're missing out on life, not even knowing that the jackpot is right there in their DNA, waiting to be awakened, waiting for you to step into your power, to start transmuting energy, to become the natural alchemist that you are. You have earth, wind, water, fire. Every element is working on your behalf once you activate that energy within you, because you consist of earth, wind, water, and fire. There is no life without the 4 elements. Once you're connected to the Most High Mother and Father, you have the authority to utilize alchemy because you use it from a state of integrity. You're doing it for a far greater purpose beyond yourself. So don't allow the powers that were to get you back into that state of codependency, lack mentality, grieving, sorrow. That is the objective. I'm telling y'all right now, that's the spell work behind the scenes. That's it. I don't even have nothing else to say. I don't even have to, I mean, was that clear, Jessica? Like, I mean,
yeah.
Did y'all catch that out there in the chat? I mean, put an 888 in the chat if y'all received this full message. Like the video, share the video, do whatever you need to do to get this message out there to as many people as possible. It's whoever is supposed to receive it is going to receive it. But definitely make sure that you hit the like button, y'all, to support and show some love here, because this was a powerful message. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch this doggone thing myself, because this was powerful here. There was a lot of jewels that came through here. So I appreciate every one of you out there who have been throwing them spiritual hands and who's also shifting the energy of the atmosphere to align us with this 888 portal. This was powerful. And for those of you who did not come in the very beginning, you are not missing out at all. I'm getting ready to post this video and you will be able to do the rituals alongside us. As long as you catch it within the 88 portal time frame, you are definitely good to go. So that's what I have for you all. Anything you wanted to add before we close, Jessica?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm reminded of a movie. I want to say it's called Jack Frost. You mentioned powers that were. It's a Disney Channel. No, a Disney. What's it? DreamWorks movie. Jack Frost. There was a villain who was the dream killer. He was the monster. So when you said powers that were, I thought of him. But he fed off of the energy of fear and disbelief. But he ended up taking out the Sandman, and everybody knows the Sandman is that's the one who controls the dream world.
Yeah.
So he knew if he could get Sandman, that he could hit the heart of belief. You wouldn't believe in Santa Claus, Easter, and what else was fairies and all that other stuff, including Jack Frost, because Jack Frost was the least of all of them. I think he was the snowman or something,
okay.
You know. But Jack Frost reminds me of Leo because he was so playful. Leo is the house of play, and he got people in joyous energy during the wintertime, because nobody want to come outside. Everybody complain about how cold it is, but see, he was throwing little snowballs. Look, you can have fun even though it's cold. So harmony, that's what I was saying earlier. We gotta not be distracted by what's imitating the lion, and just be the lion.
That's right.
Be the lion in its full capacity.
Yes. And that's powerful that you said don't be fooled by what's imitating the lion, because everybody out here gotta, you know, they ain't doing nothing but purring like little kittens, thinking that they got a lion's roar like they intimidating something. They ain't intimidating the damn thing. Okay, when they hear a true lion's roar, they're going to understand that the comparison, there is no comparison. So definitely embodying that energy and
Yes.
not being fooled by the imitators out here that's trying to embody that of those of you who truly have the power. It's in your DNA, it's in your blood. You are the royalty, y'all. So that's it. This was really good. Thank you for joining, Jessica. And of course, y'all can check Jessica out on her channel, Unconventional Jack, not exactly as it's written, Unconventional Jack on
Yes.
YouTube, y'all. And like I said, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all next time.
Yes. Until next time.
All right.